Good morning. If you're new here, my name's Amanda. Is it just me or is everyone breaking up? Literally everyone in my life is breaking up and I don't know how to feel about it. Like I have multiple friends right now that are breaking up. You know what's really crazy actually is I'm in a very good place in my relationship right now. And so it's really interesting seeing everybody else's relationships around me fall apart. But also I'm going to be very real with you because as you know, if you've been here, I'm very transparent with you. My relationship was going through it a couple weeks ago and I'm just very grateful that we made it through and came out stronger, because seeing all of these people breaking up is really breaking my heart. But I guess all I can think is that maybe the world knew better than them and maybe that's not the person they're meant to be with. And if that was the case for my boyfriend and I, then maybe we wouldn't have worked it out either, but we are meant to be together, so that's why we were able to work it out. I don't know, like it's so crazy. So it all started because I was talking to my friend. She doesn't live out here anymore, and I was just like kind of catching up with her. I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I was like asking her, you know, how her and her boyfriend are, just how life is. And she messages me back and she's like, oh, we actually broke up. What? She just bought a house. Now, they did not buy a house together because they're not married. But like you would think that things are starting to move in that direction because they've been together for a while. With these friends specifically, I just think she was telling me that her and her boyfriend were just not aligning. Like she's ready to have kids and get married and do all of those things. And he's just not ready for that. She is a corporate girly. She's a go-getter. If she wants something, she's going to get it. And I mean, mind you, she bought a house on her own. And she's younger than me. And I give her mad respect for that. Because I can imagine it's very hard to walk away from someone that you actually love, someone that you wanted those things with. But if they're not aligning with you, you have to go. You only have one life and you can only control yourself. And I just feel like that's really strong, because for a long time, I thought I would never give an ultimatum. That's just me personally. If you feel like giving an ultimatum is the way to go, by all means, it's your life. Do you, boo? But I never believed in an ultimatum. I don't want someone to be with me because they feel pressured. I want someone to be with me because that is what they want. However, I understand leaving a relationship now if you are not getting the things that align with your future. When people would leave a relationship because their partner didn't want to get married, I kind of thought, oh, well, it's not that even that they want to marry their partner, it's that they just want marriage in general. And I thought that was kind of like not special. Like I would rather stay with my partner my whole life and never get married because that is my person. That is my love. I'm not going to go leave my love, my one person, to go just marry someone just so I can experience marriage. Like I never ever understood that. And honestly, to this day, I don't think that I would ever leave my person because I have a bond with my boyfriend that I've never experienced with anyone else in this whole world. And I don't think it's worth it for me personally. However, as I'm getting older, I completely understand and see maybe why people do that. No, I do think people get married for the wrong reasons. I absolutely think people get married for the wrong reasons. However, in my friend's case, I completely see why she walked away. If her partner is not wanting to get married or have kids, then maybe that's not her person. Maybe there is a reason she's walking away. And so I think I was kind of closed-minded to that situation because I had never experienced it, but I see it now and I feel like there is a variety of people that are standing their ground and living the life that they deserve, because there is someone out there for my friend that is ready to have kids and ready to get married and is a go-getter like her. That's not to say that her boyfriend previously was bad. He had an amazing heart. He had amazing things about him as well. But when you're not aligning, again, we only have one life, so you gotta go. So that made me kind of sad because she really liked him. And then I have another friend. She has been with her boyfriend for a very long time as well. I want to say almost like back to high school, maybe after high school. I'm not sure. A very long time. And she's, I think, like 27 or going to be 27 this year. Yeah, of course, you know, I feel like anyone that has been together for a very long time has been through their ups and downs, of course. They were on and up and they were together and I was really happy for them because they had taken a break for a while. And I honestly feel like sometimes breaks are good. Do I think that you need to go explore other people? I personally don't think so. I think taking those breaks are times to reflect on yourself and become a better version of yourself. Not experiment with other people so then you can come back to your person, but if that's how you work through it, by all means, again, boo, do you. You know, they took some time apart and they worked on themselves and I thought it was really amazing. I was really rooting for them. But again, I don't really get to talk to this girl that often either because she's a business owner and life gets busy. I'm also a business owner, as you know. So just life in general, add on top of being a business owner and any other life things that are going on. So I don't get to talk to her that often, but I finally got an opportunity to talk to her the other day. And she told me that they had broken up. And I'm just like, how is it the second friend that I have that is just going through a breakup? And they were like together for a long time. And my other friend that had just broken up with her boyfriend that didn't want to have kids and stuff, they were together for a long time as well. So I'm like, what the heck? You know, I'm trying to talk to her and I'm letting her know, like, it's really hard finding this new happiness in your life and seeing all of your friends heartbroken or upset or sad over something like that, because you don't want to be overly happy and make them feel bad, but you also want to be able to be that positive light in their life. And so I just kind of tried to tell her, like, girl, like, you just got to focus on you. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what you have to do. You have to find your happiness. And I promise you, once you find that, everything else is just going to follow. And she was telling me, you know, like, I'm really trying so hard to distract myself from him, but I just, you know, and I'm like, no. And that's where the mistake is right there. You are focusing on distracting yourself from him. He is still part of the equation. No, you need to focus on making yourself happy, finding what makes you happy and thrive. And then in turn, it will distract yourself from him, but he should not be the main priority. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't know how that is going. Again, I talked to her and then I didn't. So wishing nothing but the best for both of those friends. But then there is a third. There is, and a fourth. So I have this friend. He just proposed to his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. And that's really great. They've been together, I think, for about 8 years. Again, another very long relationship. And then recently, I saw that he was posting on his story different memes that sounded kind of depressing. It wasn't saying specifically that something was going on with his relationship or anything. He was not putting that on blast. But it was clear that he was going through something in his life. And it kind of made me sad. You know, like, if you know what it feels like to hurt, it hurts you to see other people hurt. You know, I didn't really say anything because, you know, he has a fiance and I didn't want to overstep. So I kind of just took note of his sad memes on his story and moved on. Then the next day I work out and I see him and I notice in class he seems kind of off, like more down. And so after class I stay and I talk to him and I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he told me, he was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I saw on Instagram. And he was like, oh, yeah, nothing. Like, he almost sounded like as if like he didn't want to talk about it. He was like embarrassed. Like, it's all good. Like, it's all good. And then I push even further because sometimes when people ask me if I'm okay, I'm instantly going to say I'm okay because I don't want to make anybody else's issue. But I wanted him to know, like, I'm here for you. But again, I didn't want to overstep because he has a fiance and like I tried to put my mind in that position. Like, I knew that my intentions were pure. I knew I just wanted to be there for a friend, not even a friend. Like, I wanted to be there for another human being that looked like they were struggling. That's what it was. It was pure just wanting to make sure that this other person is okay in life. That was all. But I tried to think about it because I always want to be respectful. And I thought, if another girl was trying to comfort my boyfriend, would I not like that? Would I think that that was disrespectful that another girl is trying to comfort my boyfriend when he is upset? And I never, ever want to seem like I'm overstepping. And so I just told him, I was like, okay, well, you seem kind of down in class today. And so I just wanted you to know, like, I'm your friend and like, you're supported. And he looked at me and he was just like, you know, like, thank you. And there wasn't much. I told him, you know, I don't know what's going on with you. And honestly, it does not matter what's going on with you. Just know that you're not alone. You know, that is my mission in life, for people to know that they're not alone and they don't have to be sad alone. And what you're feeling is completely valid and okay. And I don't know. And so I walked away from class feeling good that I said something, because sometimes we don't say things and we regret it. And so I'm glad that I did. Like, I'm never going to regret being nice to somebody. Later on that day, I see again on his story, he's posting like really sad, like, memes. But like, they are like more consistent. It was really sad, and it was making me like honestly want to cry. And the more that he was posting, the more it seemed like it was about his fiance. But he never said that. He never ever said that. He never told me that. He never posted on his story. He was very respectful, and he maintained that privacy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. I got a little bit nosy. When they got engaged, they both posted the picture of them getting engaged. And so he's posting all of those things on his story. I don't know why, but something just told me to click his profile. And so I click his profile, and the picture of his fiance when they got engaged, gone. They're not even like dating, like they're engaged, and this picture is gone. You would think that when you got engaged, you would want that picture to be there forever, because that only happens once in your life. And I did get nosy, and I clicked on her page. I'm not following her, but I clicked on her page, and she also took the picture down. And so again, he never told me they broke up. He never told me they had issues. But I'm like over here freaking out in my mind. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was just rooting for them to get engaged. And now I think they just broke up. Like, what just happened? And so I'm over here telling my boyfriend, because again, like, I'm not shady. I'm telling my boyfriend, like, like such and such looks like they're going through a hard time. I talked to them after class. And like, I was keeping my boyfriend in the loop the whole time. And he was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. And I was like, I know. So then yesterday I go to class, and he shaved his head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he is going through something. He's pulled Britney Spears. Like, what is going on? And I'm thinking that he's going to tell me that they broke up. I don't know. It's not okay. Here's the thing. It's not that him and I are that close. I guess I just thought because I had come up to him a couple days prior to check on him that he maybe would have told me, because he told me when they were getting engaged. But again, not that close. He has no responsibility to tell me. But then it was my friend's birthday. And so after class, we met up. We went to go get coffee, and he came with us and treated her. We were talking, and I thought for sure he was going to be like, oh my gosh, me and such broke up. No, he doesn't. He does not say anything. And then even when he's referring to her, he's like, oh yeah, my fiance. Oh, and then he's talking about, when they get married. And I'm like sitting there like, so they didn't break up. But also, this is why we don't be nosy, because it's none of my dang business. And I would never be sitting here with this thought if I didn't go and stalk both of their Instagrams. So then I'm thinking like, okay, that's good. That's good that they did not break up. However, here's the thing. I do not want them to break up. I want nothing but happiness for everyone. Especially if they just got engaged, last month? They should be on top of the world, excited, right? I definitely want them to work things out, whatever is going on. I've been in a relationship for 9 years. Again, don't know what they're going through, but when you go through something really big, and I'm assuming it was something really big for them to both delete that picture. The thing is when you go through something really bad or really big, I personally don't think that it is good to just reconnect right after. I don't. Because I have made that mistake before. Me and my boyfriend and I have gotten in huge fights where like we thought that we were going to break up, or he was like, I can't do this anymore. Whatever the case was. And when you try to fix things immediately after, those feelings are still there. They're not actually resolved. And if you don't actually handle those feelings, talk about those feelings, or take the space that you need to understand those feelings or why those situations happened, you're either going to repeat or resent, or maybe both. And I just don't want that for them. I want them to work it out. I want them to live happily ever after and get married. I am just nervous that things got swept under the rug because they're engaged and they have to make it work. And I'm just afraid that's going to cause more issues in the long run. And I just really don't want to see that. I want them to be good going into this marriage. So fingers crossed for them. So I am not really sure what exactly is going on there, but I am hoping the best. I was in class yesterday, and one of the other members was like, hey, Amanda, you do lymphatic, right? And I was like, yes, girl, why? What's up? And she was like, hey, well, once I finish 75 hard, I would love to come to you and, get a whole clean out. Okay, girl, absolutely. You're doing 75 hard. I did 75 hard. I am so with you. When did you start? She goes, oh, I just started on Tuesday. I was like, Yes, girl, let's go. She goes, yeah, because I got broken up with on Monday. I said, okay, girl, let's get that revenge body. Let's go. I got you. Okay, what the heck? That is 4 different people. That is a lady at my gym. That is one of my close friends, another one of my close friends, and then another one of my friends. What? That is 4. And those are only 4 people that I know. Do you know people breaking up right now? What is in the air? What is going on? As you know, if you've been following me for a while, I have been going through this journey of finding happiness and not being so angry and learning patience. Well, the other day, my boyfriend and I have to be honest with you, because if I'm not honest with you, I feel like I'm not actually going to help you. I'm a real person that goes through real things. So if I only talk about other people's issues, it doesn't really help you get a first-hand perspective. I can talk about how I feel about other people's issues, but it doesn't help you understand how I got through mine. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I'm just gonna trust that you all know how to be respectful and that this is a safe place. And here we go. The other day, I want to say honestly, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, my boyfriend and I were going on a hike, and it was a very, very great hike. It was amazing. I loved it. We haven't been on a hike in a very long time. Well, when we went on this hike, we decided to turn around. I was under the impression, since my boyfriend and I were going on this hike, that when we turned around, we took a different trail that was going to take us somewhere else. My boyfriend didn't realize that's what I thought. So we're walking down the hill, and I see this couple, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder where they came from. I wonder, like, let's follow their trail. And my boyfriend was like, oh, they came from where we came from. I was like, no, I don't think so, because they're coming from over here, and we're coming from over here. There's no way. Does it loop around? And he was like, no, baby, they're coming from the parking lot. And I was like, the parking lot? What? Yes, if you have not guessed by now, yes. I thought we were going to a new trail. My boyfriend was taking us back to the parking lot to go to the car. So that should not be a big deal. This should not actually be a big deal at all, because we figured this out. We figured out this misunderstanding before we got to the bottom of the hill, before we got to the parking lot, actually. So we actually could have turned around and just continued on our hike and had a good day still. But no, Amanda was not ready to have a good day still. Something about the fact that my boyfriend should have known that I was not done with this hike. He should have known that I was not ready to go to the parking lot. Why would he even think that I was ready to go? Does he not care about me? Does he not listen? Thank goodness those people came. So we knew. So we figured this out before we got to the parking lot. Because if we got to the parking lot, I would have been very, very upset. And he said, I completely understand, baby. Let's just turn around. Like, I didn't really know where we were going either. Let's just turn around and let's go on our hike. We could still go on our hike. At this point, I feel like he does not listen. He does not care, because he knew, he was supposed to know that I was not done with this hike. So the fact that he was bringing me back to the parking lot means that he does not care about me. He does not listen. He does not want to go on this hike. That makes no sense, actually. That actually makes no sense at all, because when he realized that I did not want to go to the parking lot, he was more than willing to go back on this hike. So at this point, I'm backing him in a corner because I'm not allowing him to fix it. Do you see what's wrong there? So I don't really remember, to be honest with you. I don't know why I got so severely upset about this, but I did. I got very, very upset. Very, very, very upset, because I don't like to feel disregarded. And talking about the situation with you right now, it was 100% a misunderstanding, and my boyfriend did literally anything he could, which was try to still go on the hike, try to still be positive, even though I was giving him an attitude. And yeah, so at some point I end up just walking down the hill and being like, bye, you can hike by yourself, which literally makes no sense, because the reason that I was upset with him was because we were leaving the hike and going to the parking lot, and now I am leaving him to go to the parking lot. That makes no sense, Amanda. And I'm going to tell you right now, it takes 2 people to argue 100%, but my anger issues took full control in this situation. Having a hard time talking about this, because my mission in life is to make sure that people don't feel alone and don't feel hurt. And all I did in this moment was make my boyfriend feel alone and hurt his feelings and be very mean. And it hurts me even more because he was never mean back to me. I think that's what hurts me the most, is because I think a lot of my anger stemmed from feeling like I never had control in life and feeling like I always had to defend myself. And so the fact that I don't have to do that with my boyfriend. The fact that I could literally lose my mind and my boyfriend is still by my side, trying to stay positive, trying to pull me out of this bad mood, when that is not his responsibility. Absolutely not. That is not his responsibility. That is not his responsibility because he did not create my trauma. It is not his responsibility because if someone is being disrespectful to you, you have no obligation to continue to be there for them and be nice to them. And I am so grateful that I have such an amazing person by my side that did not leave me when I was acting like a complete fool, when I was being completely disrespectful and disregarding him. And I think that's why when I saw that my friend that is engaged was going through something, the things that he was posting, because it sounded like he felt so alone in his relationship, like his partner was against him. And that broke my heart because I have been the partner that was against my partner. I feel like with my anger issues, I've been better. I really have. I'm a very sensitive, empathetic person. That doesn't really align with my anger issues because I can be very, very mean. I can literally cut through you with my words. Like, it's pretty awful. I also have the biggest heart. And I feel like those two things don't go together because I could be so mean. And right after, I just want to cry and disappear because I can't believe that I was capable of making someone feel that way because I just want to protect everyone. So to know that I am also the person that hurts people and knowing that usually it happens with the people that I care about the most, it's really, really hard. With that being said, that fight was really intense. And we talked about it a little after. My boyfriend's like, you know what? Do you want to just go get some lunch? Again, like, why is he so amazing? You know what I mean? Like, I literally just went off on this hill. We get in this huge fight and he still wants to take me to lunch because we have to eat. I love him so much. And I promise I'm never ever gonna take him for granted again. And so we have lunch and we kind of just enjoy our time together. And then it's Monday, and then it's Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday, and then it's Thursday. And here's the thing. I'm usually the person that wants to talk about things in the moment. But I knew that this fight was different than a different fight. It felt different. Even my boyfriend and I said to each other that day, something feels like it broke in our relationship. I don't know what it was, but this fight was different. And it was not good. And so I knew that once we had this conversation, it either meant that we were going to come out of it stronger or we were done. Like this situation needed to never, ever happen again. And so I wasn't avoiding, but I knew that I really needed to think about what I wanted to say. I really needed to understand why that happened. I needed to understand if that was going to happen again, what causes that. Is it myself? Is it being around my boyfriend? Is it just really being open to myself? And even to the point, if I'm being completely honest with you, being like, are we growing apart? And like, that's really hard to like be honest with yourself and ask because, we're going to be celebrating 10 years this year. We started dating when I was 19 years old. Since I was 19, I've started a business. I'm making new friends. I'm discovering a whole new part of myself. I've been robbed 3 times. I'm a completely different person. And it's very possible that we could be growing apart. And I didn't want that, but I needed to be open to the idea that maybe that is possible. Are we just staying together because it's comfortable, because it's what we're used to, and we're just sweeping these situations under the rug? And that brings me back to when I was talking about my friend that's engaged. I am not placing any judgment. I am strictly just saying because I do want the best for them. And I have done both. I have taken space and I've not taken space. And I've seen how it works. And I don't want that for other people. And so finally on Thursday morning, my boyfriend goes, can we please talk after work? And I was like, you know what? Yes, absolutely. Throughout the week, I was taking notes about my thoughts. And then I wrote everything down in a book. And I tried to connect all my thoughts. Because I feel like usually I try to figure out all my thoughts out loud with my boyfriend when we're already in a fight. And that's too much. There's already enough going on with the fight. So I figured out all of my thoughts on paper so then I could just come to him with one summarized thought about all my feelings. So it wasn't so overwhelming. And it made the conversation a lot better because it wasn't a bunch of overwhelming thoughts and feelings. It was organized, it was thought out, and we were able to just talk about it. And it felt really good. And we came to the conclusion that like we understand what we need from each other and we never, ever, ever want to go through that situation again. And then my boyfriend said he can never go through that situation again, and I 100% understand. And I don't know what it was. I can't tell you. Something did break that day, and I don't know what it was, but I would just like to believe that it was the bad cycle that I have been fallen victim to. I hope that this means a new beginning, because it's not just about like, oh, well, it's only been a couple weeks, things will fall into bad habits. I don't think so. I feel so much calmer and so much happier. When I tell you those videos that I've been posting recently, but I'm so happy I can't stop talking about it, I don't know what it was. It's almost like, this sounds really silly, but it's almost like there was a demon inside of me that just needed to come out. I feel lighter, I feel happier, I feel more patient. I can actually forgive myself for doing those things to my boyfriend. I hate that I said those things to my boyfriend. I hate that I've ever made my boyfriend ever feel alone. But you know why I think I can finally forgive myself? Because I'm finally confident that I'm not going to repeat those actions again. And maybe in the past, I didn't want to repeat those actions, but I didn't know how not to. But I do now. And so I can forgive myself because I know I'm not going to ever treat him like that again. And I had a breakthrough with my grandma too. Now, I just want to make it very, very clear. I have never said awful, awful things to my grandma like that. Ever, ever, ever. No, absolutely not. Have I given my grandma an attitude? Has my grandma felt like I get angry over the smallest things? Yes. But I have never said disrespectful things or ever, ever, ever called my grandma out of her name. And I just need to make that very, very clear. It's more so she says something and I'm already on edge and I just pop an attitude, which again is 110% not okay. So yesterday I was talking with my grandma and I was trying to be very positive and I just felt like she kept pushing, and it was really hard because I'm trying so hard to be positive, and I just felt like I was getting tested. And then and when I was having a hard time, finally I was like, being like, Grandma, I'm trying to be so positive. Like, why do you keep pushing? And like, I was saying that like not in a rude way, but like, so she sees like, Grandma, like, and she's like, well, I just don't know what's going to trigger your issues. That made me so upset because I'm trying so hard, but that needed to happen because that gave me the space to tell my grandma that I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I ever made you feel like you had to walk on eggshells around me. I'm so sorry that you ever were afraid to say something to me because it might trigger me. I understand that I created that environment for you to feel that way. And I take full accountability for that, Grandma. But please give me the space to show you I can grow. Give me the space to show you that life doesn't have to be like that. And please know that I'm not angry with you, Grandma. I'm hurt because I just want to make you proud. And she gave me the biggest hug. Being able to have these breakthroughs with the two closest people in my life makes me feel like I'm finally on the right track to actually be happy. I'm finally growing from whatever this angry person was. I'm making amends and I'm moving on, and I'm so happy. Because I don't want to be that angry person. I don't want to hurt the people that I love. I really don't. And you know what's so crazy about having confidence in knowing that it's not going to repeat? After having these conversations, it doesn't ruin my day. If there's a bump in the road and my boyfriend and I need to have a conversation, we have that conversation. That is exactly what it is, a conversation. And then we move on. I no longer let things just ruin my entire day because that's just a little piece of my day. And I am just so grateful that I get another opportunity to do right by the people that I love and to do right by myself. Being angry all the time was not good for anyone. Wow. I mean, this video remained about breakups, but it got a little more emotional than I was expecting. But it's good. It's real. It's always real over here. So if you are going through something right now, make sure to comment down below so we can be there for each other. If you're having a great day, comment down below because let's celebrate greatness. And I think until next time, bestie, I'm gonna go. So have an amazing Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye, bestie.